All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Livewell here this Tuesday night at Fish, North Georgia. Hope all you guys are doing well. Got a fantastic episode, I think, in store for you guys. Got my buddy Wyatt Martin, the largemouth man, as is his handle is now, the largemouth man. He's going to be joining the conversation and not answer some of your questions. We're going to pick his brain about largemouth, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. But I want to go ahead and take care of some business first. First of all, make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, do all the stuff the cool kids do. And let me tell you about our next Fishers of Hope tournament. All right. It's going to be September 19th on Lake Lanier at War Hill. This is going to be a full-length tournament compared to the last one. It's going to be safe flight at 3 p.m. Entry fee is $100, 5-fish limit. Again, bring your money because after weigh-in or during weigh-in, you can buy hamburger plates to help get some more money. Now, this is all for a gentleman named Joshua McCune, who is dealing with cancer right now. We've all been touched by that. We know somebody in our family. So you guys come on out if you're not doing anything on the 19th and help out the cause a little bit. I got a couple of other announcements. Now, August 29th, you guys look at your schedule, all right? That is hunting and fishing night at the Braves game. They're going to be playing Colorado. It's Saturday. It's going to be a 4 o'clock afternoon start. I got look, I held up high. I got 4 tickets. Now, me and Ken Pruitt are taking 2. Over the next 2 Thursday nights for Father Time's question of the week, the winner or the winners get the other 2 tickets. And you can go to a Braves game with me and a good seats. It's my uncle's, it's his company seat. So just down first baseline, section 114. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But you got a chance to win them. And listen, make sure you can go. All right, before you answer the questions. That's going to be the next 2 Thursday nights. I'm going to give one away each night. So, and then in the morning, the Toys for Tots tournament for December that we're doing here at Fish, North Georgia, with help from Fishers of Hope and No Wake Nation, the registration is going to open up. You'll see more information about it tomorrow on the page. It's going to be a $100 entry fee this year. $5,000 guaranteed first place prize, just like last year. And if we raise more sponsorship money, we're going to try to make second place even higher as well. And of course, then from that point on, we'll pay down 1 and 5. You'll be able to pay Venmo or PayPal. You're going to blast off in the order of which you sign up. So if you want one of them earlier slots, you want to be one of the first few boats, you better go ahead and get your money in. And but it's going to be a good time. And again, $100 per boat, 1 toy, unwrapped, brand new toy per angler. All right, and let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I got that. I think I got everything. So now, excuse me, I see you guys in the comment section. Appreciate you guys joining us. And there, of course, you see Wyatt and all his glory. Now, Wyatt, where are you at tonight?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hit him up yesterday, he goes, "Yeah, I'll get on, but I'll be in Texas." And I'm like, "Oh Lord, like that." So how's the weather in Dallas, Texas?
Hot, very hot. I
Is it
don't
hotter
like
than?
it. Yeah, Sweetie Pie over here loves it because she's from Arizona, but I don't like it.
Listen, it's hot here too. Now, what is hot in Dallas?
It's like sitting in a hot car. Yeah, not like 93 today, but 40% humidity. Yeah, 40% humidity.
Oh, dude, that's not bad. We got like 93 and 80% humidity here, man. What are you fussing about?
I don't know, but it just the wind was blowing too, so it felt like you're in a car
Oh yeah,
with,
listen, I'm
and you're trapped.
I am so ready for fall and winter, which is what we're going to talk about. And for those of you who want to know where Clint is on the road driving up to New York to work on some of the elite stuff on their tournament this week. So Coleman says Dallas is like an oven. That's the best way I can describe it. And listen, I mean, I've never been out there. I don't know. So we're just going to take his words for it. So the topic tonight, guys, is largemouth bass. All right, largemouth bass. And from now into the fall, some of the techniques we can do. And the reason is, number one, I'm tired of talking about spotted bass all the time. We love them. Listen, we love the spots, but I mean, I grew up catching largemouth, even though it was farm ponds and stuff. I grew up, that's what I caught. And it wasn't until we started messing with Lanier and Allatoona and all that really spotted bass, became the central focal point. But I have fished against this gentleman in a couple of tournaments, and I don't even know if you've weighed in a spotted bass in the last two tournaments I fished against you. Yeah, I think you're all largemouth.
Yeah. The last tournament, I did catch one at one point, but no, I mostly target largemouth, especially like if it's like springtime, especially when we get into summertime, and especially like if you're fishing a three fish tournament, like a free or a three fish limit tournament, I'm pretty much gonna go lips. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I
just
mean,
me.
it makes sense. It makes sense. What did you finish? Did you finish in the money on
Yeah,
this last one?
no, I had fifth. If I had one that died on me, unfortunately, and if I would have kept her alive, I might have would have had second or third. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was
Okay.
it was a good one.
Well, I mean, it impresses me anytime, we get on Lanier and I see largemouth. And I know
Hmm.
the last time you was on, you talked about where you like to go up the rivers and everything.
Hmm.
And kind of, you were talking about the whopper plopper and the frog, things like that, which of course you told me the other day, I guess they're still in play.
Hmm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Well, as much as I hate the whopper plopper, I mean, I guess it's what works. But what I really what piqued my interest with largemouth was I fished a tournament over here on Latham, and I talked about
Hmm.
it on today's lunch break, and we weighed in all largemouth, and we were catching them in ways that I didn't expect. Now I think now again we were dragging worms on the bottom. That's the only way we could get fish to bite. I've always thought Texas rig equals largemouth, shaky head equals spotted bass, and again
Hmm.
that is just because Lake Lanier has changed the way I think, and I think a lot of people think that as well. So, I
Hmm.
mean, if you were going to drag a worm for a largemouth right now, and it might not be what you like to do, but how would you drag it? Would it be shaky head, Texas rig? What would you do?
Um, I'd do a little bit of both. I mean, if I was going to do a Texas rig, I'd be throwing like the other night. I went in the evening time and I caught two on a 8-inch monster worm.
Right.
If I was going to do shaky head, there's a type of worm from KVD that's like swamp crawler green.
Hmm.
That's really good. But yeah, I mean, most of the time I'm going to throw a Texas rig, with a bead and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, see, that was my plan. I
Yeah.
had on a Texas rig because it was again we were fishing a three fish tournament, and I
Hmm.
was thinking, okay, I'm going for a lip.
Right.
I'm going for a lip. So I had and black is a good color over on the lake that we fish. It's always been a good
Yeah.
color. So I had a black 8-inch old monster on, or whatever they want to call it. And man, I didn't get bit. I didn't even get sniffed when I switched over to a shaky head. And of course, my partner was throwing a shaky head exclusively. Well, that's when I started getting bit. But and again, largemouth,
Hmm.
and that's why I was sitting there thinking like it goes counterintuitive to the way my brain
It
has
does.
worked over the last, I don't know,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 years. Um, Let me see. There was a couple in the comment section. I already thrown out some questions for you.
Hmm.
Joshua, Joshua Go. Let's see. How would a man like me that only knows scope catch a largemouth? Hey, listen. We were scoping. We were scoping the other day. Um, can you target largemouth? Like, I mean, does the scope? Let me rephrase that. You like to fish up the rivers a lot. Does the scope even come into play up there?
I mean, most of the time I'm not using it. I mean, you can. Um, I mean, there's, you can probably catch them on a koi key right now in some places scoping, if you know where to look. But most of the time, Danny, I don't have it turned on. I mean, I'm fishing so shallow. It won't scan, you know.
Yeah, makes sense. Coleman Jones, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Do you throw a koiki or any type of urchin bait at all?
No, I don't own one right now, but I'm not saying that I won't ever.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple buddies of mine that throw it and do really well on it, but they're also catching a lot of spots on it too. So I mean, but it's something that's very efficient, and I think that it's something new, and the fish, when we pick it up and look at it, that's what the fish are doing. You know,
Yeah,
they're
true.
looking at it and they're biting it. So. But
Still makes no sense. And then I seen some. I follow some Japanese bait companies on Facebook, and the next little critter bait that's coming out, it kind of is a play on the koiki a little bit. It's I don't even know how you describe it. It's almost like if you took a Senko body and had tentacles coming off of it, but it retains the tail of a Senko and it lays more
right,
flat. It's not a round ball.
yeah, I've
Um,
seen that one.
yeah, so I was like, here's the next thing. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure it's coming.
Has the
Um,
court? Let me ask you: is the Corky done okay at Latham?
yeah,
Has
there's some
anybody
guy.
caught?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
There's some guys that do well on it. Again, I have yet to even pick up a rod that had one attached to it. So, and the guys that I have fished with, I think I saw Tony Collum throw it. He went with me and Big Bait John over there one day, and I think he might have thrown it a couple times.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I mean, I'm not. I'm still a little old school in my thinking. And sometimes I'm
You-
like I'm a year or two behind on everybody when it comes to the
oh
baits.
yeah. Yeah.
But we got a Mr. Iron Current tackle, which is Ryan, another largemouth guru that I know about. Um, and I was told today on the lunch break that he got converted by one Joshua to a corky style bait. So,
Mhm.
like to get your feedback on that, Mr. Iron Current. Current. Somebody called
Yeah.
him. Somebody called him Curtain the other day, and just by default, I start saying Curtain every time now. Um, I know what you're doing right now.
Hmm.
Okay, I mean you just pretty much kind of said it. You're fishing shallow. You're looking for like brim eaters. Safe to say
Hmm.
that's fair enough right now.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, there's. I mean, 85% of my fishing right now is shallow. And then I'm also looking for places that if there's a bird, I'm fishing. If there's a bird, I'm fishing.
Fred, that's what Ryan called it. Fred,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
old crane looking joker.
That's it. Yeah. And he's in places right now that if you don't pay attention, you might not see him. He's so far back in places. You know,
Well,
they're
well for
they're
for for somebody that doesn't understand exactly what you're talking about, explain to them what you're talking
yeah,
about with that bird and everything.
yeah. I mean, they're in the backs of the creeks right now. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, they're anywhere there's laydowns or places like that. That's where they've been sitting. You know, um, I seen last week when I was up there fishing, there was just a lot of fry in the backs of these places. And that's why I made a comment last week on the show. If the water comes up at any point in this grass that we've got growing around the lakes, guys at Live Scope ain't gonna have a chance.
Ryan just sent me a picture via the phone, and he definitely doesn't want me to pull this picture up and show it to anybody right there. Number one, he has a he
I seen it last night. I was the first person to see it.
okay, you know the one I'm talking about. Ryan's got his shirt off and he's got koikis over his eyeballs, and like
Yeah.
hell,
To
I
the
don't know
man
if
that said he was never gonna own none too.
I don't know that I can finish the show now after seeing that. I've seen some sketchy stuff in my
yeah.
time,
Yeah.
uh, but that right there was a little bit rough for sure. Um,
You get the video, Danny.
oh my god, I wish it.
Go to
You know, I don't,
TikTok.
okay, yeah, I need to do that. Oh my lord. So,
Yeah.
um, okay, so again, you were kind of explaining where you're fishing and all that shallow. And we're going to talk about what you're going to be looking for. But I've got a
Right.
question for you. And some of the guys kind of answered it, but it kind of shocked me. In that Fishers of
Yeah.
Hope tournament, we
Mhm.
were me and Mike Geiger were on a kind of a steep, those rock walls on
Oh
Lanier,
yeah.
those
Oh
banks that
yeah.
are pretty steep.
Oh yeah.
I
Mhm.
love them too. I love letting something just fall
Mhm.
down and all that.
Yeah.
But I had a shaky head, set the hook on it, was
Mhm.
fighting it. It come up, and I could tell it was largemouth, and it had two other fish trying to pull that worm out of its mouth. Now,
Mhm.
I expect that with largemouth. I mean, with spotted bass.
Oh
We
yeah.
always talk about the spotted bass wolf packs. That's the first time I have personally experienced largemouth fighting over a bait in another fish's mouth. And then I was told, well, you probably got
Yeah.
into a school. Does that sound about right?
Oh yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
something you
I've
see that a
I've
lot?
seen that. I do. I do. I see that a lot, and I see it with fish I catch. And then, I told you, my family's got we got a lake house, and I go down on the dock a lot. Of course, we we fish and play in the water and stuff a lot when we got family up there. But I was on it the other morning, and I was walking back up towards the house, and before I walked up the steps on land, I seen the bluegill just up under the, like, the walkway.
Mhm.
I seen the bluegill just do this right here. They just kind of scattered, and it was about 6 or 7 largemouth, and they were all running together. And I see it a lot though. I see it when I'm reeling in one. I had it at Hartwell one time. Do it. I was had a big one on and had 3 or 4 with him, and
Right.
I had it happen to me back in, I don't know, May or June. I had one on a buzz bait up there, and there was 3 running with him. So they
S-
do.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, and again, I just have never experienced it. It was kind of a first for
Hmm.
me. And I mean, I'm 54 years old. I'm kind of like, well, I guess I've been sheltered, but I see
Yeah.
top water. I can see it in my mind them fighting over some type of top water, things of that nature. But a shaky head, I don't think I've ever pulled up a largemouth and have other largemouth trying to pull the worm from it. So that was the first for me. Now, um, Mason Roach, what you doing on TikTok? He says, always follow any bird 100%. Alyssa will tell you the same thing. Pontoon Jody's watching on TikTok. Howdy, Pontoon. And then Mason says, Ryan with the shirt off would crack a mirror. Yeah, listen. Yeah, for sure. I get it. Listen, let me catch back up here in the comments. Make sure I didn't miss anybody's question before I jump into it. Don't ever tell me to check my phone again, Ryan. No, never. Uh, Ken Pruitt, he says, after going to several electric only weigh-ins, I'm almost ready to get a John boat. And that's the one thing about the electric only lakes, though.
Hmm.
The majority of them are stocked with largemouth. So if you
Oh
want,
yeah.
yeah, if you want largemouth opportunities, you can get them there. Now Latham is the exception. It
Yeah.
wasn't stocked with spotted bass, but they're in there along with the bluebacks and everything like that. So, um, and there you go. So I've caught up on that. Now, here's what I want to know. Here's what
Hmm.
I want to know. Right now, this week, we might as well be sitting on the tip of hell. It's going to be so hot here in Georgia.
Yeah. I
We're in
know.
the heat dome. Hey, let me. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, you're
No,
really
26. I'm 26. I'm sorry.
all right. So
26. Yeah.
I'm twice as old
Yeah.
as you are. All right.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Back
Hmm.
when I was your age, it was just called summer in Georgia. It was just hot. You knew what to
Hot. Yeah.
yeah, hot, muggy, swamp ass. You knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Now we got heat advisories, we got heat domes, we got all these other crazy things. That's what they call it now. I guess it's for clicks and whatever, but we got us a heat dome that's going to be sitting over. And so
Yeah.
let's real quick talk about the next week or two before I get into the fall tactics and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, are the bass when it is this hot? How shallow is too shallow right now?
I mean, like for example, I got a tournament Saturday, and I think that's when it's really going to be bad.
Yeah,
But I, if I was going tomorrow, ain't the weather pretty much hot tomorrow too? I mean, it's
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
I think it gets hotter as we get towards
yeah.
Saturday. Saturday's gonna
I
be like 97.
yeah. I was thinking about it today because, like I said, I got a tournament Saturday, and I mean, if you don't get bit in the first couple hours on top water, it's going to get tough, especially for what I like to do. But
Right.
if it were to me, I would have, like, right now. I'm getting ready. I got to go get some this week, but either an 8-inch worm or 8-inch lizard. You're not going to get a lot of bites, but
Right.
you can get the right ones. There's some certain places up the river right now where 8-inch lizard can be really good this time of the year, and you just have to look for structure. But when I'm talking about structure, I'm lay downs and stuff like that. Deep
Mhm.
deep stuff. I think those fish that are feeding on brim and are in the backs of those creeks, when it gets hot, I think they'll move out a little bit on some of that deeper stuff nearby. So, like, don't focus on what you've been doing shallow, stay in those areas, but go out to where they might be. They didn't go far. They're just moving out to something deeper close by.
So
So,
like so like you can make your cast. Let's just say you got a blow down and it's sticking up, and you got of course you got your trunk coming off, and you can fish that first quadrant, if
Mhm.
you want to call it. But what you're
Yeah,
saying is the fish might not be there, or either as the day goes along, they're kind of sliding out back
they're
towards the.
sliding down. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if a lot of them, a lot of fish just hasn't really been on the bottom, and I'm hoping they will be. I will say I do catch some fish, like what you were saying on those walls, those
Hmm.
bluff walls. I do catch a lot of largemouth in certain places up there on a drop shot. It can be very effective.
See, I tried that Saturday too, because I'd heard
Yeah,
guys be talking about the drop shot. I mean,
yeah,
I basically everybody knows me. I love to throw the wacky worm. I
right.
might have made 10 casts all day with the wacky worm, and then I'm like, you know what? It just ain't gonna work right now. Just not gonna
Yeah,
work. So I put it up and went. The ones that we caught were on the bottom, and I would say in 20, 25 foot of water.
yeah.
But they would follow down. They were kind of up, and
Mm-hmm.
they would nose down on it and just
Mm-hmm.
follow it down, and then but not a lot of them would hit. Now that's another thing too with scope that we saw the other day is I would say 99% of the fish are pretty
Yeah,
much just looking at your bait and not hitting it right now.
yeah, they are. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. And I feel like too, like right, like for example, this week. I mean, you kind of probably need a spot in your bag if you're going to win the tournament this weekend, But I don't even know. Like, I've been talking to some guys like a lot of guys that are minnow fishing right now, that ain't working as good as they want it to work.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
um, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because we're fishing till 2. And my focus is trying not to get run over.
yeah. That's the bad thing about August. August,
Yeah,
everybody's going back to school, but they're trying to get them last few weekends in.
that's it. That's it.
And so it is going to be crazy. Which you can avoid some of that going up
I
to some of the
can.
places.
I can. Some places I'm wanting to go.
Yeah, Jeff Brazil says it's going to be hotter than the donut grease over there. Yeah, for sure it's going to be. Mike Geiger, how did you end up doing Geiger in your night tournament on Hartwell? But appreciate you joining us. Now Joshua says reel deep. If the reel on your bait caster is out of the water from butt end to the reel seat, I guess that's what he's calling reel deep. So he's talking about 6 foot, 7 foot. That
Yeah,
sounds that
yeah,
sounds like
yeah, yeah.
uh, Father Time is in the house. Father Time, I need a really tough question for the next 2 Thursday nights, and I'll explain to you why later. And Ken, now I was getting ready to say this: lizards, and he says yes, lizards. Dot 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 dot. Yes, we do not talk about a lizard at all on this show, and I think primarily because of spotted bass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're always talking about spots, but
Spots love
even
them too.
they love them, but it's not. It's one of those baits that's not sexy anymore. You know what I'm talking about? But it never
Yeah.
stopped working,
Well, see, people don't realize too, like bass look at a lizard as an enemy, and it's been proven on camera.
right?
There's some biology camera or footage out there of bass just absolutely destroying lizards, and it's not because they're hungry. When they eat them, they shake it. And it's like they want to kill it. Yeah.
So
So
just some kind of natural biology going on in their brain.
I guess I don't know if they think it's something that's gonna eat. I mean, they're not laying eggs this time of the year unless, I mean, I will say this, I have caught a spotted bass on bed in August before, but, that's just
Oh
not something that you're gonna see. I don't know. I think it's more or less just they think it's their enemy and they just don't, they just want to kill it.
yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Um, my
What's
grand
Go
my
ahead.
grandfather used to take me to a lake in Monroe that had this guy he used to put F1s in it, and I mean they used to kill a lizard,
Wow.
and it's just something that I've caught them in Oconee with it. I've caught them in Sinclair. I mean, it's a really good bait to where if you're struggling in a tournament, throw it.
Okay, fair enough. How do you throw yours? You Texas
I
rigging it or
Yeah, a Texas rig or a Carolina rig. It's really hard to throw a Carolina rig in Lanier. There's not really a lot of places. I mean, there's a few places up there where you can throw it, but more or less the Texas rig where I'm fishing.
yeah, the only time really we ever talk about a lizard is generally when we've got somebody that fishes Alatoona a lot and they
Yeah.
talk about throwing it across the flats on Alatoona. Father
Hmm.
Time still throws it, but they're always talking about throwing a little 4-inch zoom, watermelon red, something of that nature lizard. You're talking about you're going full size, 6 to 8 inch.
Yeah. I want the biggest thing I can buy.
All right. What colors are you using this time of year? You going with the dark, like the blacks, or what?
Yeah, I gotta have green and blue in it for sure, and sometimes red. Sometimes there's one I could, the plum color is really good. But yeah, those two are really good. I used to throw black a lot when it came to a lizard, but I don't know. I probably should. My grandfather used to throw black all the time, and
Hmm.
but for me, I just had more luck when it's got blue or green in it, even with anything, jigs, trick worm, or any, try to keep it all the same when it comes to plastic.
I got you. And we're definitely gonna talk jigs a little bit. Let me read some of these comments. Michael Perkins. I've never been a part of schools of lips in North Georgia, but down at Sinclair, set on one point, caught 30 keepers up to 3 pounds, and they're schoolers
Yeah.
like that. Michael, I wish like hell I'd come across one of those for sure. Uh, Kevin Thornton wanted to tell Jeff Brazil there's nothing better tasting than donut grease. I don't know, and we heard a little bit about Kevin's past last Thursday night, so maybe there's a story behind that right there. Now Patricia, listen, she's one of these, and she's brought it up. I thought nobody under 40 fished a lizard anymore, and that is kind of what I've been saying. Like it is not something people talk about, especially the young guys. Josh Daniels, he said they would come at my minnow at 100 miles an hour and turn around. And that sounds about like what we saw a lot too. I know John tried it.
Yeah.
I tried to shake them in a couple of times, and they would run from it every single time on Latham. Um, okay, Wyatt. Josh wants to know what's your top five bait lineup this weekend. Yeah, I think he might have a little motive in trying to find out.
Yeah.
Right?
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I know where he's starting on Sunday because he's got a
Uh,
tournament. So, but um, I mean, I've been throwing the buzzbait Ryan makes, and I
is it
mean,
not a good one? I mean, that's a damn good
dude.
buzz bait.
So 5 out of 10 times now, I've caught one over five
See, there you go. Now, what color?
black.
You like the black. You like the black.
Yeah,
So, guys, we give Iron some love. Go to Iron Current,
I'm telling you, there's
IronCurrentTackleCompany.com. I think that's it.
yeah,
Just look up Iron Current, not Curtain, Iron Current Tackle
yeah,
Co. It's a badass buzz bait, guys.
it is,
It
it
is
is.
built. The cool thing about that, and I'm not blowing smoke up Ryan's butt because I wouldn't want to get
No,
close to that thing at all. But it's heavy duty, man. It's built to take a whipping and keep on fishing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I mean,
I boat flipped a 4 pounder the other day with it and threw it right back out there, and it didn't phase it. I mean,
you,
it was
you ain't gonna
yeah,
do that with. I mean,
no,
don't get me wrong. I like the accent. I've always liked the B2B. It's a double bladed, but if you ain't good at tuning them things after a fish, don't get them for
no,
sure. Rodney Holland. All right, there you go, buddy. I fish a lizard a lot. Very successful with them. And that's
hmm
good to hear. That really is good to hear because we don't talk about it. Clayton asked you what your favorite color lizard was, and you kind
yeah,
of covered that right there. I get behind on these comments. Let's see. Black lizards are the bomb. All right, there we
hmm
go. Father Time. I throw a lizard on Oconee and Sinclair. Green pumpkin, green, and June bug. So green pumpkin,
yeah,
green, and June bug. And those are two legit colors, whether it's a worm or whatever, for sure. Coleman says I sling a lizard on the Carolina rig. And Wyatt, Rodney wants you to know I will be on Lanier this weekend by myself. Okay, he's going to be fishing it as well. Now, all right, we're going to ask this just because Ken brought it up. People have also forgotten the tube. Now, do you throw any types of tubes whatsoever?
I got some. I've thrown them on a bed before and caught fish with them. But I probably need to do a little bit more study on how to fish them and stuff. I know some guys that have and caught like down on the south end. They've caught spots with them. I mean, wore spots out,
Yeah.
and caught some really nice bags. But it's probably something that we all need to throw a little bit more because I mean it gets used so good up north and up there they don't even call it. Some of those guys up there don't even call it a tube. They just call it a jig. They don't call it a tube.
Really
They
call
call
it a
it
jig?
yeah, they call it a tube or excuse me, a jig. Yeah, they
A
don't call it a tube. Yeah,
All right, I ain't heard that yet, but I don't
yeah,
doubt it. I don't doubt it with them people from the northern part of the country right there. Yeah, but
yeah,
I love my Yankee friends. I'm just playing with you guys. I'll probably get an
yeah.
email from somebody for saying Yankee. I've had it happen before. But I do remember the first time, and I've said this story quite a few times on here at the
Hmm.
shop when we had the shop. Colin Steele, who is a biologist around here,
Right.
fisheries biologist,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's from up north. He walked in looking for you. Where's your tubes? And I'm like, man,
Oh yeah.
we ain't got no tubes. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if you went into Hammond's, which has a little bit of everything, if Hammond's even has tubes. I
Yeah.
imagine they might have one or two, but they don't have a bunch. And also, too, let me go ahead and say this real quick because I had a guy ask me the Zoom color that I was talking about on the lunch break, that color spot on, which a lot
Hmm.
of people say is like cotton candy or it's the old cotton candy, whatever. I had some guys looking for it, they couldn't find it. I got it at Hammond's. I got it at Hammond's. So I don't know if they've got it on their website, but the color that I showed you today on the lunch break and on our little shorts that are going around was purchased at Hammond's, which generally if it's something good, Hammond's has got it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good group of guys over there. But yeah, that's where I got it. So again, you'll just have to check. But that spot on was crazy. I love it. Now let's see here. Yeah, so related angler just got his order in. I guess he's talking about from Ryan. So it's legit. That buzz bait's legit. What are you
Yeah.
putting on your buzz bait? Skirt or
No.
a toad? You just run it
Skirt.
like Ryan, just like Ryan
Yeah.
made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you,
Yeah.
do
I don't
you
get fancy.
do you I mean, what do you think when you see guys putting on things on buzz baits? I see it on a spinner bait, but if you got a skirt on a buzz bait, I don't see it as being that important to have some type of
It just
soft
depends.
plastic.
It depends on the buzz bait, really. I
Hmm.
mean, you got I think it's the twin tail or there's a buzz bait. Yeah, Joshua probably knows. I fished with him one time. They throw a lot of buzz baits in North Carolina, and he threw one with me one day. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but there's different ones, and the toad is of course a big deal. But I've never thrown anything. I know a lot of guys will throw like a swim bait or something on the back of them
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But I've just I used to throw a buzz bait a lot when I was in high school.
Right.
When I was younger, but
Hold on a second, dude. You're 26.
I know, I know. But
So
my grandfather used to throw one, but then
right.
I got to the point where I would throw the whopper plopper, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I got the one from him, it's been amazing. I mean, I can't say anything else about it. It's worked really good. That's why some days here the last few weeks I've throwed it and not caught anything. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it in my hand. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
A buzz bait you can catch numbers, but boy, I tell you what, it's a big bass. It's a big bass bait when it
Yeah,
all
it
works
is.
out right for sure. And
Yeah,
I have always thought I never went over to the dark side of the whopper plopper like you. I
yeah,
tried it a little bit and all that, but I always thought that I had a better hookup ratio with a buzz bait than a whopper plopper. And I'm sure it's operator error. I'm sure it's
yeah.
me. Let me read a couple of TikTok comments real quick.
Mhm.
Scott Welch or Bolt Scott Welch. I love these screen names. I caught a 10 pounder in Lanier about 20 years ago and not one since. Are those gone from Lanier now? Absolutely not, sir. The man I'm
No,
talking to tonight, he catches them like when I say on a regular basis, I mean like that's what he targets. I
yeah,
mean, what do you say? I'd say 95% of the time you're going after lips.
yeah. Even wintertime, I go after them. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean,
yeah,
I don't stop up there.
yeah. And then Mark Johnson says a toad on a buzz bait is the move. And it is for a lot of people.
Yeah,
And Mark, I got your thing packaged up. It's coming to you. For those of you that know I'm notorious, I told him I was going to send him some line. I did think about you today and packaged one up. So it's coming. Here's an interesting question because I can't remember. And if I've seen one, it's been decades. But does anybody make a lizard with a straight tail? I do not recall. I'm sure there's been some made,
I
but
don't.
I've always thought of Zoom.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure my uncle can. My uncle's been making some crazy stuff here lately. He gets these crazy molds and stuff, man,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's pretty neat. Some of the stuff I've caught fish off some of the stuff he's made, and it's pretty. And the type of material that he makes the rubber out of will actually sometimes last longer than a Zoom worm. But
Really?
I can't get him to sell nothing.
Don't you know what? There are people like that. And
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying they keep it to themselves, but
yeah.
when you start selling it, then it becomes like a job, man. You know, you got
Oh,
to make those things
it
all the
does,
time.
and that's he don't want to do that.
Yeah. Real quick. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna skip down. Patricia, Copper State Tackle sells a lizard with a paddle tail. Shh,
Yeah.
don't tell Danny. Well, Ken, what do you mean? Don't tell me? Like I'm gonna go out and buy them all, and throw it like tomorrow. So that ain't gonna happen. But that is interesting. But a straight tail, I don't recall ever seeing one. Uh, Tube on a buzzbait or jerk in a tube? Joshua says. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never. Have you ever put one on a buzzbait?
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
Not,
I didn't
not
think so.
no.
Um, and then Ken's got a comment about putting an 8-inch lizard as a trailer on Ryan's buzzbait. I guess if you're going for musky, you might can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. All right, I think. And Relay Angler says I like my buzzbait naked, and I guess that's what we're talking about. All right. Uh, Mike and Wendy Rice on TikTok said back in the day, Man made one. Man Bates had a straight tail worm, so it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Definitely, I don't think you're going to walk into a tackle shop now, very many of them, and see one.
Right.
You know, but and again, when we had it, like nobody came in looking, and I didn't plan on talking about lizards tonight, but nobody would come in. A farm pond guy here and there. Hey,
Oh yeah.
y'all got any lizards? But if they were fishing Lanier and all that, other than Alatoona guys, that little 4-inch, 4.5-inch one, nobody was asking for a lizard. So, all right, now we talked about how hot it's going to be, and
Hmm.
what you're doing now, but it's going to change, and it's
Yeah.
going to eventually we get into September, it just it's going to change, and it's going to start cooling off. We're going to get shorter days and cooler nights and everything. What are the bass in your mind going to be doing? What are some of the things guys need to start looking for? Are they going to be hanging out in the same spots they are now? Or are you going to tell us that they're not going to move, or are they going to do a little bit of a transition?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're really going to go far. I mean, I think the fish that I catch don't really go far at all. I mean, I think the the coarser bait's going to start moving in the backs of creeks more and stuff like that. Because last year about middle of September we had a lot of days where it would just how it cools off before a storm.
Yes.
We would get those days where it was just constant, and I was catching a lot of fish on a little small walking bait, in the backs of creeks and stuff, and largemouth doing that. And when I get into September, though, I start throwing a crankbait a lot. October, I keep a crankbait in my hand, and I love. It's going to maybe sound crazy, but I like throwing a crankbait around docks,
No, it don't
especially
make
up
no.
there. Yeah,
It
especially
don't.
up there.
Yeah, it don't sound crazy to me at all. And Mark Johnson, he might have answered that question. Kind of, he goes, "So where are you looking for the largemouths of the spots?" He stays generally on the north side of Lanier. I would say that's fair
Yeah.
to say,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
he's looking right now in the back of creeks and everything. You
Hmm.
can, I mean, you still can catch spots up there. Don't get me wrong; they're up there
Oh,
with them too, for sure.
yeah,
If there's
yeah,
water, a spot's going to be in it.
yeah.
But your largemouth are going to I'm not going to say congregate. There might be just what I call more largemouth water, because there's largemouth on the south end of Lake Lanier too.
Oh, yeah. Some big largemouth down there.
But people don't throw. But now let's talk that crankbait. You got me kind of interested in.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what crankbait are we talking about? Because the only I've said it before, the only crankbait I have any confidence in this world is a daggum Spro rock crawler.
Yeah, well, that's
That's
one of
that,
them. I mean, I
that's
throw
yeah.
three. Yeah, I throw three. One of them is a rock crawler, but I've got two still in my box that I haven't lost yet. That was made by Bill Norman. And
Okay. How
yeah,
how how deep are we going with those? Are you staying like
like
rock crawler death, like
yeah,
what,
like
9 to
12.
14? Yeah.
Yeah, 9 to 12, nine
Right.
yeah, somewhere in that 12 to 15, maybe nine. I mean, if I'm throwing a crankbait, I keep my boat in 15 to 12 to 15 foot of water most of the time, and
And you're
I'm
still in
usually paralleling a lot of stuff.
Are you still like in the same areas? Like in the fall and winter time, do you spend as much time up a river as you do in the spring and
Yeah,
summer?
I
Okay. All
do.
right.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
especially when we get into December, I'm up there all the time.
Okay. So with a rock crawler, we're
Hmm.
burying it into the bottom. We're digging it into the rocks, letting it bounce and deflect off rocks
Hmm.
and everything. I would say there's not quite as much rock or rocky points up that way as we got down on the south end. So what are you doing? You deflecting it off of wood, things like that?
Yeah, I'm finding let like bluff walls, stuff like that, and getting really close up to them, just parallel and stuff. But of course, there's going to be blowdowns you come across as well. But um, I do a lot of. I did- it, I was taught by a really old man. My grandfather, he used to do this. But when we get into like fall and even wintertime, if the wind's blowing, of course, wind's very important when you're throwing a crankbait, right?
Right.
But I will go up a bank throwing a crankbait and come back down throwing a jig.
All right. Why?
Because if that fish didn't want that crankbait, he might want something dragging.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
You know what
and
I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, and we didn't even
Yeah.
talk about a jig yet. I do
Yeah.
plan on talking about that. So, Mike and Wendy Rice on TikTok says burning that crankbait, and I guess are you burning it?
Sometimes not. I'm very slow.
Okay,
Right
very
now,
slow.
if you so it just depends on the wind speed. Like if I'm getting like really fast, like let's say white capping,
Mm-hmm.
I'll burn the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not really white capping, I'm just taking it very slow.
Okay.
And yeah.
What ratio reel do you throw your crankbaits on? Just out of curiosity.
5.1 or a 5 to 1. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's a slow.
you're
Yeah.
going slow ones. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Mark Johnson says I've never fished Lanier, only Hartwell, Russell, and Kiwi. Lanier is a different animal. It's a different beast. And then he goes, sounds like he fishes my territory from War Hill up. Remember, Danny, I'm old school, 62. Oh, yeah. Hey, I got you right there. Um,
Hmm.
we are talking about those territories. Now, I know you probably spend more time up the hooch than you do
I do.
Chestatee. But let's talk about the Chestatee a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing works and applies. Somebody can come out of War Hill and just take a left and go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's places that you can go all the way up and go under the bridge way up there and do some stuff.
You can go
Yeah.
that far up,
Hmm.
under
Hmm.
400.
Yeah. Going 400. I've caught them up there. Especially right now, you could do the same thing up there that I'm doing right now with the buzz bait and the frog and stuff like that. If there was more water, you could do a
Mhm.
lot more, of course, but you just have to be careful when you get in certain places like that. But yeah, up there would be same thing in the fall, just, crankbaits and mouths like point little. I like to look for, I like to look for little rocky points, but
Uh-huh.
also pockets that have rock in it,
Mhm.
so stuff that's a little bit slopier.
Okay.
That's what I'm really focusing on. And if I find, let's say if I see a bird in somewhere that's maybe a shallower pocket, like a pocket, I might throw a square bill,
Okay. All
or I
right.
might throw or a chatterbait or something like that. But most of the time, I'm going to stick with something like a Bill Norman. I've got two Bill Normans left, and they're a certain color. I don't know if y'all remember when I said it back in May, but there's perch in Lanier,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I got two Bill Norman crankbaits very similar to that color.
Yeah, nobody talks about perch in there either until Kevin
Yeah,
Underwood starts popping a few of them every year, like in the
yeah.
wintertime. Did you just? I know this is totally a squirrel moment, but did you see that post on the Fish on Georgia group page of that walleye my cousin caught?
No, I'll have to go back and see that.
Oh yeah, he popped, and it was just this week or this last,
Was it
week.
on Lanier?
Yes, sir. And
Really?
yeah, my cousin caught it, and I was
Nice.
yeah, and it was a nice one. And then I was reading in the comment section, he was mentoring, and that thing came off. No, I'm not lying. He was
No, I
doodling
believe
and
it. Yeah,
yeah, doodling
yeah,
a minute. And his comment was that thing came up off the bottom and busted it like that. So that would have been knowing my
yeah.
cousin. I would have loved to have seen his face when he pulled that one
Well,
up.
I've had two put in my boat from two different people, and both of them were on rock crawlers.
What's the best? Don't give me your juice, but give me your second or third best color rock crawlers for largemouth,
For
not spots.
largemouth,
For largemouth, are you going more the shad or what are we doing?
mud bug, mud
Mud
bug's good.
bug?
Yeah,
Yeah,
mud bug's good.
yeah,
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 yeah. I caught a 6.2 on mud bug one time. And then the red one's done pretty good, but
yeah.
it's the it's like the fire. It's like it's got black in it too, a little bit, like a little bit of black.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I can't
That
think of
wouldn't. Yeah,
yeah, I can't think of the name of the club, but Mudbug
yeah,
is one of the Mudbug catch
yeah.
everything.
If you just want to go catch numbers though up there, which you can, like I've had like 50, 60 fish days, just throw the original green one.
The original green rock crawler.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I know that one very well too. So let's see. WB Harrington said Six Sense has a flat tail lizard that I've been eyeing. So there you go. If you're looking for that flat tail, uh Harrington says that Six Sense has one. Uh, related angler said Six Sense sells one that's close. It's called a ridge lizard. A
Hmm.
ridge lizard. Now, Clayton Belmont wants to know when you say back of creeks, how shallow are we talking back of creeks?
Well, if you looked at my trolling motor, you'd see how banged up it is.
So
Yeah,
shallower.
shallow. Yeah, shallow. In the
Yeah,
dirt.
he there you go. A Tim Wyatt
Yeah,
euphemism. It was in the dirt.
yeah.
He is shallower with
Yeah,
the ER.
I caught one the other evening on a buzz bait, and I couldn't, like, I had to like where I casted, I couldn't go any further.
That's as far back as you can go.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And I have fished with Ryan a few times when he loves getting in the back of those pockets like that. And you guys would be surprised. Sometimes it looks like it's just a bunch of mud and silt back there with one little, you know, lay down across. It looks like there is don't see no brim or nothing, but you'd be surprised where a bass shows up just out of
That's
nowhere.
it. That's it.
And it will blow your mind just how shallow they do
Hmm.
get. Sergeant Swing says a deep little N or a DD-14. So
I like throwing both. I mean, here's the thing about crankbaits, especially from my point of view. Some one week one color might work, next week another color might work. It just depends on what they're eating.
yeah.
I've got one in the Strike King, the DD-14, I think it is. Like it's a taco salad color. I don't know if you're familiar with taco salad. That's
I'm
kind of
not.
an old, yeah. It was an old taco salad was kind of from like the what was the it was back kind of like you remember Greeny Meanie.
That I do remember that one.
Okay, it was kind
Yeah.
of similar to that color. There's a strike there's a DD-14 that runs in that or DD or is it the DD or is it there's another one. What's the other one? I'm trying to think of the depth range that they go.
Uh,
Um,
I'm not a crankbait guy, so I can't help you with
yeah,
that.
I know, but something similar to that chartreuse with blue
Hmm.
is really good up there, just because of how good the water's stained up there a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah,
Uh, let's see. Let's see. Tim Turner. I still have a few Norman deep little end crankbaits that do well on Lanier. So there you go.
yeah,
Doc Holiday, when I say he's I keep saying up the river, and
yeah.
he's wanting to know is that like above Lula Bridge? He ain't gonna give you the prime territory there, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get up there, I haven't been able to get up there in a long time because of how low the water is right now. But like right now, I'm about as close as you can get. If I can get, there's me and my girlfriend went last Wednesday, and I'll tell you this, we were spitting up mud everywhere we went, but I mean, we hammered them pretty good.
Is she still in the room?
She is. She's over
Tell
here in the
her
bed.
tell her I
Yeah.
said thank you for letting you play with us tonight. I because we are
Yeah.
stealing her time right
Oh,
now.
oh, yeah.
Uh,
Listen to what he said.
Yeah, I know. I had to hear about it earlier, but you know what? I'm giving it back after we get off tonight.
there, you,
I
there you
already took her
go,
to.
man.
Hey, I already took her to dinner, so I've already accomplished one thing, right?
All right, we're gonna get a little prayer group right now and pray for you for after the show. Uh, you do you, young man.
Yes, sir.
There was a day in my life when I was like you, like, yeah, I'm gonna give it back. Well, you get to be 50 something years old, and them days don't happen like that anymore.
Oh, I know, I
I
know. Well,
love it.
we
I
we
love it.
we've got a little one that loves to fish too, so she
That's
she knows
awesome.
what she knows what she's living with too.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Eric, well, again, if she can hear me, thank you very much,
Yeah.
hon, for letting him
Yeah,
play.
thank you.
Like a 2, 3 pounder on a crankbait.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so yeah, he's amazing, man. He's 6 years old and crankbait and what popper, yeah, is unreal what he can do with some of the stuff that I hand him. But if it's a moving bait, he will catch him.
Well, you know what? That's good. What'd you say? 6?
6, yeah,
See, if he
yeah.
loves it, if he loves it at 6, man, he's gonna love it his entire life. So that
Well,
is
he's all
awesome.
about the bluegill fishing, of course. Right now, we'll stand out on the dock and he'll catch the bluegill crazy. But we went to Hartwell together back in March, and he caught the first 4 keepers we had.
Dude,
And
really?
it was on a whopper flopper, yeah, and did it all by himself. I'm sitting there trying to like net him, and he's like, "Dad, I got it. Just let me do it. I got
I
it."
like it. I love it.
So,
I love it.
yeah,
In 6 years old, can fish, and he's independent.
yes,
So there
sir.
you go. I like it. I like it. Now, Eric said, after the koiki, I feel like anything weird might work.
Hmm.
What's the weirdest bait you have ever thrown and caught a fish on?
Man, I don't. I'm so old school. I don't.
You probably ain't never thrown nothing weird.
I have caught some on the dice.
Oh, so okay, so you've played with
Yeah,
that a little bit too.
yeah. Down on South End, we got into some one day. I was spot fishing in the wintertime, and I went down there. I was getting ready for a little tournament, and me and my mom's boyfriend, we were drop shotting a dice, and we were catching 3 pounders, 4 pounders.
See, don't say that. If one of our listeners, guarantee you, they're gonna pick up a dice bait, go down there, they're gonna try it. All that. I've not thrown a dice either. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, Mike, it would have been nice to have some of this information when you and I were fishing that tournament. The problem is we'd have gone where he was going, and he'd already been there. Already would have been there. And then Michael Perkins says a lot of perch up around Toto and above and all that. So,
oh yeah.
I guys, there's all kinds of fish on that lake that we don't think about. Um, I mean,
Lanier is
again,
so versatile. I mean, you can just do whatever. I mean, you could just pick something and go run it.
and yeah, and it would probably work on most days
Yeah.
unless you're me in a tournament. Then it ain't gonna work. Hey, let me ask you this. You've been
Hmm.
talking about the water being down.
Yeah,
And Lanier is still what? Even with all the rain we've
it's
had,
like
it's still down.
6. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually a little bit lower the other day. It actually came down again just a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what the Corps is doing, but I'm hoping that a hurricane will come soon.
Well, hell, they'd probably just open all the gates of hurricane the way they're working right now. It is kind of weird, but again, with the lake being down, what do
Hmm.
you think that's going to do to the largemouth fishing when the lake comes back up?
Live scopers will not have a chance. And I'm not talking crap. I'm just saying, like, we haven't seen the grass around the edges of the lake grow like it has in a long time. And I don't think, I mean, a lot of the older school guys that are on here right now that are listening, they know what I'm talking about, because in 2016 I was just getting into it on the lake side, because I went, started going on the lake from pond fishing and stuff. But I remember catching them in the grass with a buddy of mine with a spinnerbait in
Mm-hmm.
September.
Mm-hmm. And we ain't been able to do that in a while.
No, and these fish have never seen it.
Yeah. What kind of I mean, we're just talking just regular old grass. It's just growed up on the banks right now,
Yeah,
right?
just regular, yeah, yard grass. And some places, Danny, it's 5 and 6 foot tall.
Wouldn't it be nice? Like I see the excitement on your face, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
of some of the other largemouth guys that I know that are sitting there like, oh yeah, it's coming, because
Oh, it is.
eventually it's going to come back up eventually.
It will.
Um, and that's a plus too. Not only
Yeah,
more
and don't
places for
let
the fish to hide.
if it comes up in the wintertime, don't let that scare you
Yeah, go
at
go
all.
right at it. They're going to be
Yeah, I'm
there.
saying yes, yes, because it'll be something different.
Yeah. And I think too, and then again, once the spawn rolls around again, if that grass is there, it just gives some of those fry a little more places to
Oh,
hide from the bluebacks and all that, trying to eat them and everything. How far up have you seen bluebacks? Do you see them very often up the river that far?
yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them past the rowing venue up there.
That
Um,
far up?
yeah,
But
I've
it,
go ahead.
but in the concentrations that we see them down on the south end.
No, not like that.
Okay,
I've seen that. This is what's funny, and I don't know if you've ever seen this or heard this, but
probably
I've
not.
s- I've seen threadfin and bluebacks running together.
No, and we've never talked about that on the show.
Yeah, I've literally been in a school where they've been blowing up, and my partner's either like he's caught one, and he'll get it in the boat and spit up a blueback, and then I've caught one, and then it'll split up a threadfin. So what?
I mean, that's I would put two
Yeah,
and two together.
yeah, you
Did you
know,
did you see that picture of that gizzard shad that
I did. I
uh
saw that. Yeah, was that
yeah, Kevin
Kevin
Underwood,
Underwood?
yeah,
Yeah,
lipstick. That damn
that
thing
was
was
perfect.
2 pounds. I
That
mean,
looked
for
like
two,
a North End gizzard shad.
it did. That was, I mean, he caught it. I think he said he was drop shotting,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, don't
caught that.
surprise me.
For those of you that have not seen that gizzard shad, go to Lipsticker's
Yeah,
Facebook page and all that. He's got his nasty ass ugly foot out, but that fish is bigger than his foot.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
huge.
it is
And then the
huge.
thing is, I've seen the bass up there schooling on them that big,
That was
chasing
getting
them.
ready. That was my
Yeah,
next question. What does it look like
yeah,
with the gizzard shad up there? What
yeah.
is the predominant bait fish up the river, other than brim?
Gizzards,
Is it gizzard?
gizzard, yeah, gizzard, bluegill, and I would say crawfish. There's a lot of crawfish up there.
So that would bring the jig into play.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and again, I will say this: I threw a jig Saturday, and we're watching fish on live scope. They didn't even respond to a jig. I mean, you talking about
Yeah,
turning their nose up and running away from it. Now again, could have been operator error, could have
yeah.
been in the area that we fished, but that was the area that we caught them on shaky head,
Mm-hmm.
but we couldn't get bit on the jig. Why do you think, in your expert opinion,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think a bass given back to back cast, if you throw a jig in front of it, it don't hit it, but you throw a shaky head the very next cast and it hits it? Why do you think a bass prefers one over the other? And I want to kind of stick with largemouth.
Yeah. I'm more. Sometimes it could be just the simple thing of just how light your line is. When you're throwing a shaky head, you're throwing it on. For me, I either throw it on 8 or 6 pound test fluorocarbon.
Yep. Yep.
So it could be simple as that. But I think too, when you're throwing a shaky head and that little, when it's up like that and that
Yeah.
tail's bobbling, there's something that pisses a bass off. I really
Yeah.
do. It pisses it off. And I think a
Yeah.
jig, I think there's so much crawfish in the lake when they see a jig sometimes, they know they can eat it, right? You know,
Yeah.
but your bigger fish are going to say, you're bigger. That's why you catch bigger fish because they're always eating crawfish
Right.
and you might not catch as, near enough numbers. I mean, I've had days up there where I've caught numbers on it, but most of the time when I throw a jig, it's 3 pounds or bigger.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that's true. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
even with spots, you're gonna
Yeah.
if they're biting a jig, you're gonna catch big
And
ones.
I used to not like throwing a jig because I was like, man, I've never caught one and I'm fishing it like a worm and I don't even know what the bite feels like. And I used to watch Gerald Swindle videos and him telling you how the bite's going to feel and how you got to set the hook differently than a worm. And when my first fish on a jig was a 4 pound spot. And I remember going back the next week or whatever I went and I threw it all day. And I think I only caught 3 or 4 fish, but you got to train yourself with a jig to give it time and give it patience for especially guys that are young because it
Yeah.
will catch the right fish.
And unfortunately, I'm not that patient of a guy.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but I know exactly what you're talking about with that bite being different because again, coming from a farm pond, largemouth, throwing old
hmm
Texas rig in a farm pond, you pull your pole up and you're dragging and you feel that did it, and then
yeah,
and then we would reel down and just
hmm
almost like you catfishing sometime. Wait for the line to take, just totally different. And
I
then
tell
we
you,
set the hook. You don't do
yeah,
that with a jig.
and I tell you what, some of the bites that I get on a lizard are similar to what I get on a jig because they'll thump it, and as soon as they thump it, you better set the hook.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
That
wait. They
mm.
got it in their mouth.
See, I remember being on Blue Ridge and with me and Josh, my old partner, and we were up there fishing for pre-fishing for an electric only tournament. And I said, I'm gonna throw a jig. And I'd pull it up and go, "Du-du-du-du-du." Okay, here we go. Here we go. Run with it, run with it. And then I just set the hook, it's
Yeah,
nothing.
he done dropped it.
Hell yeah, he does. And so I
Yeah,
remember going, and it might have actually been Ryan or
yeah,
somebody I talked to about it. They're like, well, why didn't you set the hook? Well, I
Yeah.
was waiting for it to, I figured it just picked it up and it was going to run with it, do the typical
Hmm.
farm pond fishing thing. No, no,
No,
no.
no,
You
no.
better you better cross his eyes right then and there. And farmer things
Sometimes
like that.
too, like in the wintertime when it's cold, they'll thump like you'll think it's a rock and they're just
Yeah.
holding it.
Hmm.
My grandfather one time caught a 7 pounder up there and he told me, he said, why? He said, I didn't, he said, I'm sitting there trying to pull it and the fish had it and then the fish never fought him.
Yeah.
Fish never fought him,
It was just
but
and those steep walls that you and I like and everything. I'll chunk a
mhm.
jig up on those things and just kind of
Oh,
work it down the ledge and all that. But if
yeah.
they hit it on a fall, hell, that
Yeah.
thing might be 25 foot under the boat on the other side by the time you actually feel it.
I
And then
call them, I call them speed demons.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I remember I was letting it fall, and I'm thinking, well, damn, I just come off a really deep section. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
That's it.
the fish is sitting down about 10 foot. He's just going under the boat. He's just cruising around with your bait, and then
Yeah.
your line finally catches up with it. But I've had that happen to me several times. But let me ask you this: that's why I always got taught. Well, I have been taught to use a faster reel on my jig
Yes,
rod. Like
you do.
I use a 8-to-1 now
I do
because
too. Yeah. Hmm.
because you want to catch up with it and keep contact with your
Yeah.
jig. I think that's another mistake a lot of people make is they don't keep that continual contact even when it's falling, and you got to have that faster reel to catch up.
Yeah. And if you're not flipping or
Yeah.
if you're not skipping, I've got to the point where I throw my jig on a 7.3 or 7.5.
Okay.
Just just because I'm bigger, so like I need more leverage. Sometimes if I got a shorter rod, I'll cross their eyes and miss them. I don't know if that's just because of my height or my strength. I have no idea, but I've done better here lately in the last
Yeah.
year or so with a bigger or longer rod.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, Kevin, let me get back up here to the comment section. Father Time goes, "Do you fish Alatoona any?" And I was thinking when you were talking about running up as far as you can, I would imagine everything that you're talking about working on Lake Lanier will work up the rivers on
I'm
Alatoona.
I'm sure it would, but I have never been to Altoona.
Never,
Never. No.
not
I
one
need to,
time.
not one time. No. I need to come over there sometime and fish for y'all.
Hey, listen, I will tell you this, and this is just going off pure social media.
Yeah.
And I believe I've got the social media to kind of back this up. But every spring, pretty much every year, the biggest largemouth that I see on a
It,
major lake in North Georgia
it
come out
does.
of comes out of Alatoona.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's where the bull shad became famous, wasn't it?
It's over in that area somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's big largemouth caught on Lanier. This man catches them and all that. There's others that catch them, but I'm telling you, double digits here and there. You hear about them in a tournament and all that.
Hmm.
Alatoona is the lake, and we always tease it about its spotted bass not being as big as Lanier's.
Well, I
But
used to work. Yeah, I used to
yeah,
work with a guy that fishes over all the time, and I mean, he would catch them on the frogs. So
yeah, and I would think up them rivers,
up them
uh,
rivers, yeah,
except for when they drain it down in the wintertime, and that
yeah,
Etowah turns into mud, that little creek or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, all right, let's see. Kent says six. Listen, this is how I know people like me and love me because they make fun of me. All right, 6-year-old already knows the best bait ever made. Danny, take notes, Danny. All right, like, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I catch them on Alatoona with it too. I get to fish it more than anything these days. Alatoona is a good lake. It really is. Bottom line outdoors. I'm in Texas. I've been catching on a spoon. Does this work on spots? Yes.
It works on
Uh,
large. Yeah, it
largemouth
works.
and spots.
Yes. Um.
Uh,
Yeah. The bluff walls we like
uh-huh. I do.
flutter spoon
What
at
size?
time.
We're throwing like a 6-inch flutter, or what we throwing?
Oh yeah, I throw a 6 inch. But if you get on them walls the right way, certain times of the year, it can be deadly.
Yeah, I would say bottom line. I know that in the summertime, a lot of guys will spoon out deep, only near like over the timber and
Hmm.
stuff, and they'll do that
Yeah.
again in the wintertime too.
Yeah.
But I haven't thought about the bluff wall kind of thing. Is that a year-round thing, or are we talking a specific time of year? Just that way, you ain't got to give me the exact date. Just when does that come into play?
Yeah, I mean, I like it when it's cold or when it's
Okay.
hot. Cold's really good just because everything is up there that time of the year. I mean, there's stripers, there's spots. there's
Yeah,
largemouths.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Kevin Gray, I have finally gained confidence with a jig. You won't catch a dink on a jig. Now, I mean, yeah, just on average, a jig fish is going to be a bigger fish.
hmm
There's no doubt about it. Like you can catch some dinks, I proved it, but yeah, you're pretty much correct. You're not going to catch many, and that's another thing too. What
yeah,
that I noticed Saturday, we might have caught 10 to 12 fish all day long. I mean, it really was a grind. But what we didn't catch, and we definitely, we saw tons of fish on forward facing. I mean,
yeah.
tons of fish. We didn't catch any dinks. I mean, every fish we caught was 2 pounds or better, with the exception of one fish. One
That
fish
sounds
might
like
have been a swordfish.
that sounds like where I work at Yargo. Yargo's the same way.
Oh, I
You
hate
know.
that lake. I hate that lake.
Well, there's some
I
three.
know.
There's 4 and 6 pounders in that, and trust me, I get it. I do too. I
Mm,
do too. But I had a 9 pounder caught in that lake on my boat, and that was in March. They were moved up, of course. But
yeah.
I tell people, I'm like, you're not going to go there and catch numbers. You're just going to catch some good ones if you catch any.
Yeah. Well, so I was going to kind of switch that over to you. Like, where you've been fishing here lately? Have you been catching dinks, or are you pretty much catching just good size ones?
I've really just been catching good size. I mean, we did,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, when I went when me and her went last Wednesday all day because with work and stuff, mostly go in the afternoons, but afternoons just hasn't really been that good. I mean, I catch a few,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't fish late at night just because I have work the next day. But morning time has been my better bite. Like these cloudy days that we've had the last
Yeah.
few weeks were a gift.
Yeah.
And it really was nice, especially when the clouds stayed and then we had a little bit of wind and stuff. But I was catching solid 3 to 4 pounders, and
Hmm.
we were catching, chopper or a whopper plopper and buzzbait.
You're not
So
allowed. You're not allowed to say whopper plopper on this show no more. I'm gonna ban that. Like that's gonna be our word. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, what? Let me ask you though. You said
yeah,
these cloudy days have been a blessing. What would you do or change if we just had straight sun? I'm talking bluebird skies, just blazing sun down.
I know.
How would that change your fishing?
Excuse me. I would mostly. I mean, of course. I mean, if it's like during, like when that sun starts to come out,
Yeah.
I would start drag. I mean, I'd be wanting to drag stuff around like brush piles on deep docks and stuff like that, or try to find something that might have some, like shininess in it, like gold or
Mhm.
um, I do have a spinner bait that I like to throw sometimes this time of the year that's just gold up
Gold you
there.
cut, but
Gold, yeah,
you're in more stained water though than we are down in the
yeah,
south end.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
still, it works at times. I mean, it just depends on if the wind's blowing on those days too. Like I've had some days up there where it'll be hot, but then the wind's blowing as well. And you know what a Stacy 90 is?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, yeah. Deep diver Stacy 90 sometimes on those bluff walls will work really good.
Okay.
Yeah, in summertime.
I hope you guys are taking mental notes like I am. We're learning something tonight.
Yeah,
Um, but that's something we didn't have Saturday is
yeah,
wind.
yeah.
And listen, Latham is normally a lake that it could be the wind not blowing everywhere else in the state of Georgia, but that lake
hmm
is windy. But we had zero wind, and I'm telling you, once the sun got up and the clouds that we did have kind of dissipated in the morning, we had that early morning cloud cover.
Yeah,
There wasn't at least for where we were at, there was not a lot of schooling action, and generally they'll school on Latham all day long. You
we-
would see one come up here and there, but I'm talking about like full blown, you know what I'm saying, chaos
yeah.
of schooling.
Well,
That
well,
didn't
that
happen.
that tournament a couple weeks ago, the Fishers of Hope for John Wilson.
Hmm.
The me and so the boy that fished with me, he had never fished with me before, and he's a really good fisherman. He actually fishes for East Hall, and he had never seen anybody catch a fish or anybody catch bass on the Near on a frog. But we were doing really good that day with a prop bait too, and
Oh,
yeah, yeah, small prop bait.
okay.
Which, if you remember,
Uh huh.
2012, what Jacob Wheeler did up there A lot of people don't know that. But Jacob Wheeler won an FLW Classic on Lake Lanier, running all the way up towards Lugan Belton Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet Patricia remembers that because Lord knows she knows everything about professional fishing. Fishing. I bet she does. I bet for sure she does. Prop bait. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another mental note, guys. You better be making it. War Eagle the best. You catch smaller lips on jig versus spot because of the mouth size. No, I mean, I would say, I only throw one side like a full size jig, but I don't think a spot. I think people got this misconception that a spot, because its mouth smaller, won't hit a jig with a 5/0 hook or a 4/0 hook in it like that, and they'll absolutely wax it.
Yeah.
Now you can throw those finesse jigs, of course, when time gets, but I don't think the mouth size really. I think that gets overplayed a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they can hit it. All right, since you keep talking about a frog, what frog?
Yeah.
What frog do you like the best, Craftmaster? Glitter Rockets rule.
Yeah, I like a spro popping frog. That's my favorite.
You
Or
like you like the popping over the hollow body on Lanier?
yeah, just because I mean I don't think it really between both of them, like how I've been catching them, it might not even matter because what I'm doing is I'm throwing it up on the bank and dragging it in.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm targeting what I'm seeing up there, right? I'm seeing stuff moving, so I'm throwing something that's weedless and dragging it in.
yeah.
And some have been knocking the crap out of it. Some just come up, like you literally see their mouth open and they just grab it.
That's a good feeling,
Like you remember when the Elite Series was at Hartwell, like back in 2016 or 17, they were catching on a pop R.
right?
They're eating the frog like that. They're just
Just taking it.
yeah.
But I still like that toilet bowl too. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just all of a sudden whoosh.
Oh, I do too. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you know,
yeah.
everybody,
I had
yeah,
one of those the other day, and I didn't catch it, and I was yeah.
yeah. Everybody's like, oh man, top water blow ups are the best and knocking it out. And I'm like, no, to me the best is when all of a sudden that toilet bowl flushes and you just get that little
Yeah,
circular tornado going down in the water where that fish was and where it
yeah,
is not anymore. That's
yeah.
my favorite.
Sweetie Pie over here had one just inhale her whopper plopper the other day, and it was a good one. Like it was one of those, and she, I don't, I, it happened so fast for her. I don't think she realized what happened.
Right.
She was off in La La Land, but I watched it.
I get caught in La La Land too. I get caught
Yeah,
over there too. But
yeah.
that's the best bite there is to me, just
Oh
personally, as
yeah.
far from a visual standpoint.
Well, I told her, I said, that's why you throw it. I said, I know it's boring, but that's why I throw it,
Oh yeah,
So,
because you never know. Do you
yeah.
ever get on any walleye up there sometimes?
I
Or
personally haven't. Like I said, I've had two in the boat, but I mean, I've always heard that you can catch them up there. There's two times of the year where it's really good. So like end of February, March is when they
uh-huh.
spawn
Uh-huh.
on those bluff walls. And I've
Yep.
heard you can catch them on night crawlers. I'd like to try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So when I had
Yeah.
O'Neil Williams,
Yeah. I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
yeah, O'Neil said the best time to catch is when they make that spawning run up the river on the full
Hmm.
moon in February, is what he said on that podcast. Now, I mean, that's of course you can give or take a little timing on that, but generally it's in that area. Now he didn't. I don't remember him saying what he caught them on,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I mean a night crawler, it's on the bottom. That's I mean
Oh yeah.
they're bottom feeders.
Well, when I was working for the fishery, for fisheries department in the DNR, when we ran up there to Lula or Belton, we had to shock them to bring them back down to the hatchery there in Social Circle to spawn them, and they did their reproduction and stuff to stock more. But I mean, they shocked one up back in, I'm trying to remember what year that was that I was working there, but maybe 2 or 3 years ago now. But they shocked one up that was close to 10 pounds.
That's a big walleye.
Yeah, yeah, it was huge.
That's a big walleye. Yeah, again, Lanier is so big. There's no. I'm sure that's not the only one up there.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I mean they get some big ones. Let's see here. Going out Saturday on Lake Travis in Texas, going to fish humps using a crankbait and a jig. Well, hey, I hope you do well. Bottom line outdoors. I hope you do.
Yeah.
Those, I'm
I'm
not gonna
jealous.
lie
I'm
to you.
here.
Well, like if you take Georgia out of the equation, if you could go one place, where would you go?
Texas.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
the
mean,
way
me
the
and
way
her were
it's
just
fishing,
talking about it on the way to dinner. Like, if me and her ever decided to move somewhere, we're gonna come to Texas.
it's hot. They
It
get big.
is, but they got. I mean, I came out here a couple years ago and went on a. I went and fished a plantation out other side of Fort Worth, and I mean, I caught I caught a 7 pounder, and I mean, I just it was unreal. And this lake was really big. I mean, this was like a 400, like I don't know, what did I say? Was it maybe 300 and something acre reservoir?
So it's like
But I
Latham. It's like
yeah, like
Latham.
Latham, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, we were catching them on a spinner bait, crankbait that day. I mean, it was just unreal. And it's the same. That place was stocked with the same bass that Fork had in it, and they of course had they stocked it with trout in the wintertime and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Back to your frog. Craftmaster says, good choice. I also like the Swamp Lord.
yeah, I've
Yes,
heard that's
that's
really good. Yeah, I've never
yeah.
tried it. I've heard it's really good.
And then Coleman will be going to Texas at the end of this month. He's fishing Toledo Bend. So there you go.
Mm.
He's been talking about it for about a month and a half now, too. That boy, I hope you get out there and have a hell of a time, Coleman. I hope it doesn't suck when you get out there because you've been excited as all get go for a long time. All right. I got one more kind of, oh, well, hold on a second. We got it. We got our favorite non sonar, no forward facing fan in the house. Cranking and Yanking has made an appearance. He has said, hey, folks, Cranking and Yanking, we're talking largemouth bass up here on our reservoirs with this gentleman right here who don't use forward facing sonar a lot. He's got it, but don't use it because he's up the river after largemouth. So you two probably would get along in the boat together. So,
Hmm.
um, but I really want to kind of I want people to be ready because I mean it's going to be fall. We'll blink our eye.
Yeah.
We're gonna bitch about the heat today, but we'll
Oh, we
blink our
are.
eye, and we're going to be in the 40s and 30s at night and everything.
Yeah.
And Cranky Yankee says I go to Texas every weekend because he's right down there on the. He's a Louisiana fella, but I guess he's
Okay.
right there
Yeah.
on the board. He have you ever heard of Caddo?
Mm-mm.
He lives on a lake that I'm telling you it is
He
honestly one of the
he
most
probably
beautiful
would
lakes.
love Sinclair. He would probably love Sinclair.
He would he
Yeah.
would, but
Yeah.
he's got them trees in the water, where you're
Oh
pitching
yeah.
stuff around and all that. I
Yeah.
mean it really is like if if
He needs to go to
honestly.
Eufaula. He needs to go to Eufaula.
Yeah,
Mm.
but if
Yeah.
there's a lake in heaven that we get to fish, I mean, I hope it looks like his lake. I mean,
Oh
if
yeah.
nothing else, it looks that good.
Yeah.
But I really want to kind of just get
Hmm.
people a little bit prepped. I know we're
Yeah.
a little ahead of the schedule though.
Hmm.
What are some of the common mistakes you see guys making when it comes to largemouth in the fall?
I think they're afraid to go. I think they're. I I think some guys are afraid to go too shallow.
Yeah,
Of course, it's going to get cooler, right? And you want
right.
to go shallow, but they're still going to be in those same places that they are when they're feeding on bluegill. Like, don't be afraid to keep going on in the backs of those places and throwing dirt shallow. Because I mean, I got close up the other day and ran one out that was probably six, and she ran out an inch of water, ran
Yeah,
right past me. But I see a lot of fish in the fall, and I think, for example, like a jig, and I think this is something that a lot of guys make mistakes on with a jig, but it's very important in the fall, especially when you're fishing a jig. But don't hop it, just
hmm,
drag it, like drag it. And I had to, I learned over time that when you drag it, you'll get more bites than you will hopping it. And I think that goes with a shaky head too, but especially with a jig. I could hop it more in the springtime and probably get bit more than I could if I drug it in the fall. I know that might sound crazy, but I
right.
have, you know,
Well, no, I mean,
but
no, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. NC Bass Puller, appreciate it. Well, I tell you what, listen, I am going. I know you're in Texas, and you got the missus over there eyeballing you the whole time while you're talking to us
she's
heathens out
reading.
here. Is
She's
she?
reading, right? She's
What's
reading, yeah.
what's she reading?
What are you reading? What are you? Oh, she's watching her show right now.
What's she watching?
What are you watching?
In the heat of the night.
In the heat of the night. That's.
Ain't that like them like an old school show?
Yeah, it's an old school show. Yeah, from the 1980s. She's
I
been
swear,
into that.
she's
Yeah.
back. She go. How old is she?
She's 27.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
you're 20. So she's going retro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff I grew up on. That's when you
Oh,
said
yeah.
the heat of the night. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
we're old school.
Old school. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna let you go early tonight because you are traveling and you're in your hotel now, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're in the
And
hotel.
and she's out. I know she's eyeballing. You know, she might be watching
Oh
that
yeah.
show, but she's
Mm-hmm.
waiting on her. She's waiting on you, man. So anyway, listen. Be honest. Thank you very much for short notice coming on and talking some largemouth.
Yeah, man. No problem. No problem.
And again, every time I fish against you and I see you at the daggum weigh-in, you
Well,
and Ryan and Farmer are the biggest people in the crowd. Y'all hard to miss like that. You know,
Yeah.
but you know what's funny? Y'all the three
Mm.
biggest, y'all three of the biggest guys I know, and all three of you love largemouth.
I know. I think I'd mentioned that to Joshua a couple weeks ago that Ryan, I don't know what it is, but yeah, two of the biggest guys love largemouth fishing. But I'd love to get you in the boat sometime. We'll go do it. Hey,
Well, listen, don't
the next tournament I've already got somebody committed, but maybe somewhere down the road here in October or something we can go up there and do it.
Dude, don't tempt me with a date.
No,
I mean that's a good time right there. So
and to me, I don't. There's not really a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of guys that want to argue that there's still secrets, but we're all doing the same thing, and I love helping people out.
At the end of the day, I believe 100% what you just said. And people be like,
Yeah.
"Why are you telling them that?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, listen,
A spot got fished yesterday.
It did by 22 guys, and
Yes.
I am not paying my mortgage by the fish I catch in a charity tournament here and there and all that stuff. So
that's it.
But Wyatt, listen, I
appreciate you, Dan.
I do. I appreciate it. All you guys that watch. Hey, listen, man's traveling. He's got things to do. So we're going to let him go for tonight. And again, I appreciate you guys jumping on. And I hope Clint, if he's listening to this, I hope his travels up to New York are safe. I'll be back tomorrow at lunch with another lunch break. I think Alex will be doing his kayak show. And then again, Thursday with the lunch break. And also we'll have the bike club on Thursday night. And remember, guys, the Toys for Tots registration will start tomorrow morning. I ain't gonna tell you it's gonna be up by 7:30. It might be 8 o'clock, but I will have the information up and we will get started. Go ahead and mark December 5th off your calendar. It'll be at Little Hall on Lanier. That's where we're going out of. Okay. So a little change from, there's a high school tournament going out of Laurel this year. We're going to go out of Little Hall. We're going to raise some toys for some kids for Christmas. So with that, Wyatt, again, thank you very much. We're out of here and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good.